SuperTalk. And many of you like to hike. It's fall. We enjoy hiking. We had the wonderful story about the gentleman from Meridian who tried to, well, I don't think you would say you hike up a mountain. I guess you can climb up a mountain. I guess I don't think of hiking when I think Mount Everest or getting to like a peak of something. I think of more of like climbing would be a better word.
Yeah, I mean, there are parts, especially on Everest, where you do have to climb vertically, but because there are so many people trying to do it on a yearly basis, it's almost like a rope ladder that they've got set up for that. But the vast majority of that is just walking, like a hike. I mean, it's a pretty arduous hike.
But it's still a hike.
Yeah.
It's like it's intensity. It's you and I go out for a short little hike there on the Natchez Trace or within our Mississippi trails, and then the intensity intensifies for like up Everest or whatever it may be.
Oh, yeah, you're still going up the tallest mountain in the world.
Yes. Well, this wasn't the tallest mountain in the world, I don't think, but this particular hiker, he reached the top of a summit, and he was expecting to get a gorgeous view of the landscape and either the sun setting or rising at whatever time of the day. And y'all, he got to this top, and there stood a mountain goat, like staring back at him.
Already playing King of the Mountain.
Already up there like, dude, what took you so long? I've tweeted this out if you want to see it. It's one of those feel-good, reminders that nature's out there doing all these amazing, awesome things, and we are really, as humans, just trying to catch up, literally, up the mountain to the goat. And the best part is the gentleman was able to, video it, and the goat didn't move. He just stood there and kind of looked back at him like, are you lost? Have you found your way? One of the two. And it looks cold up there, which I think on the top of any peak, it was Bridgard Range is where it was. And it was at sunset as I continue to read. And anyway, it's the best video. It's just this mountain goat who was just there hanging out, taking in the views. And it was like, oh, this human decided to join me on this journey.
I will see your mountain goat story and raise you at least 2 zebras, except your mountain goat was somewhere you would expect a mountain goat on top of a mountain. These 2 zebras were just in a random neighborhood in Seymour, Wisconsin, when the neighborhood's people started calling the sheriff's office and saying, hey guys, we got zebras.
And then you're like, put down the lemonade. You've had too many.
But they got multiple calls and were dispatched, and sure enough, there's video footage of at least 2 zebras running down the road. But apparently they belonged to someone in the neighborhood, and they had just gotten out, and the neighbor came and corralled them and took the zebras home.
What planet should it be legal? I mean, I know that opens up a can of worms just for you to have zebras in your backyard, but whatever, each is on. That's another story of who would you have called? They called the police. I feel like I would have called the zoo, who then would have called the police. I'm not sure if I would have called the Mississippi State Extension Service first, like our last story, but that was fossils, not a live dinosaur or creature. But in those moments, you're like, what do I do? Call 911 about zebras, or do you call animal control, or do you know how to do it? The one thing I will say, when you see nature up close, whether you climb to the top of a mountain and you see the goat staring back at you, whether you open your back door, especially now as hunting season starts and the fall starts, if you do live in rural Mississippi, you get the chance of seeing deer starting to feed in the afternoon or sort of early warnings, or maybe even some of the other wildlife who come out to eat, like your rabbits or turkey or whatever it may be. And it's this human nature, I think, or maybe it's just because we're not used to being around in nature like that. You immediately freeze, and then you start talking really quiet to the people around you. And if you have a phone that has a camera or on it, you automatically grab it, and you're trying to show the rest of your humankind that you actually witnessed nature in its own element, and you're very proud of it. I've seen it. Knowing good and well, if I was on the phone with the police about the zebras, I would also have I would have taken a video or photo proof of it or something first. But it's just strange. We all do it. And even if you see them on the inside, like you're in your home and you're looking out your window, you still get really quiet. And you're like, hey, there's deer out there. Especially if you live in the city limits, then you can't do anything about it. But enjoy the view.
I'm laughing at the C Spire text line because apparently Lance has some experience with zebras because Lance chimes in and says zebras have no sense. And then Patrick in Louisville said zebras are one thing, but when people have animals that can eat you as their pet, Lord help us.
Agreed. I think yes, totally agreed. And it's not like they're at a sanctuary or they're where you're helping as a zoologist kind of person.
No, you just walk in, they got the big screen, they got the leather couch, they got the end table, they might have the coffee table with, and then there's the cheetah just sitting in the corner looking at you like you're next.
You're next. Oh, yes. That is nuts. You talk really quiet around them, too. That's me, and I know some of you may enjoy having snakes as pets, but there are some that have the big snakes as pets, and I'm thinking, well, if it gets out and you're asleep, it's going to eat you or your small children or your cat. I mean, that's taking animals to an entirely different realm. I'll see your 2 zebras and I'll raise it by a 2-decade-old pig. So apparently there's a Guinness World Record for everything. And it's a 23-year-old pig, which is dubbed the world's oldest by Guinness World Records. It was a pet. And it had been in captivity for, I guess, 23 years, and 77 days was verified to win. And it's Baby Jane was the pig's name, or is the pig's name. I'm trying to see if Baby Jane's still with us. But it lives inside the house with the couple and their son and their daughter. It's a potbelly pig named, it's named Lucy. I don't know where Baby Jane came in, but named Lucy. So Lucy lived to 23 years and 77 days old.
Maybe Baby Jane was the previous record holder?
Maybe so. Maybe that would definitely...
23 years ago, that is about the time that first potbelly pig pet craze happened.
Oh, Lucy was added to the mix in 2004. It took Baby Jane a long, long time to warm up to another female pig. Okay, so Baby Jane is the oldest. Lucy's coming up behind her. So the couple said Baby Jane only goes outside for supervised playtime and bathroom breaks and spends the rest of her time indoors with the family. So she's a bed hog, too, they laugh. Okay, but 23 years, that's a really long time. So their kids are 12 and, 12 and 11. Ooh, there's a story there. And so, I mean, they've had the pig almost as long, or twice as long.
Twice as long
as they've had their kids. They had the pig for as long as their kids are old, now before without kids. That's a really long time to have a pet. That's basically like a third wheel in your marriage. I mean, if you come into
keeps asking, want to have a baby, Look, we've had the pig for over a decade. Let's have a baby.
Which potbelly pigs are a thing. They're cute. And there are a lot of people. And it's true. You get a potbelly pig, and if you can overfeed it, and then it just becomes a pig. I mean, potbelly pigs are cute. A pig is a pig, which still can be your pet, and you can find affection for. I had no idea that left
to their own devices,
or I guess well treated, that a pig could live to be 23 years old. Can you beat that with a pet? Someone listening to Good Things, have you had a pet? Not fish, or even a fish. I think that's kind of interesting.
On the C Spire text line from the 662, my mom called my dad and asked, what does she feed the monkey in the backyard? So he came rushing home thinking she was seeing things, but sure enough, there was a monkey in the backyard.
I just moved into the neighborhood, just curious. What do we feed the neighborhood pets here? Can you beat that? Have you had a pet that is 23 years or older, or lived to be 23 years or older? Let us know. 601-879-4395. More